It was a good opportunity for something inside me. It wasn't a good opportunity for me to work up here. It was a personal growth thing, some of which I wouldn't realize at the time, and maybe some of it that I still don't understand. I know that as far as New York goes, I'd lived there for about 25 years. It was time to make a change. There's a certain chance involved in life. You don't really know why the pieces come together, or you don't understand it at the time, but sometimes you just have to go with it. My name is Adrian Carr. I'm a musician and a recording engineer. When you live in a place for 20-25 years, you have a lot of friends. You have, I had a very established recording studio in Midtown Manhattan. I had a career that I would take turns getting off the ground, working on the recording studio or the solo piano career. Both kind of led into the other. I mean, it's a lot of fun producing other people in a recording studio situation. It's really a lot of fun to be supporting people in a kind of way that you can really bring out the best in them. But it's kind of interesting when in your 40s, when you decide to do something different and you sell everything. And I think some people wonder why you're doing something like that, because most people stay put in one place for most of their lives probably, or at least once they establish themselves. I was hiking in the Adirondack Mountains, and I just finished a 3-day trek through Giant Mountain and the Rocky Ridge Pass. And I was coming out, and I met this hiker going in. I was alone, she was alone. This was in September of 2003. I know that she's a real Montrealaise. And I know she's not, she really doesn't like the United States too much. She doesn't like the attitudes, and so I decide I'm going to make a change in my life. Have a different kind of life, sell everything I have, and move to Montreal. It's really interesting that I think to be an artist, you have to be an egotist, kind of to a great extent, and you just have to be working on your ball game. And it's so antithetical to the way the world really is. And it's really getting harder and harder for me now to be an artist, because it means turning my back on all the things that I care about. I mean, maybe it's just I have to discover on new roads and new paths that allow me to do something. I mean, maybe it's like that. I feel like I'm in a place where I really don't have all the answers. Things are kind of slowly coming together, and French classes take up way too much time, so I can't think about like a lot of things right now. So I mean, it'll maybe the answers are coming. Well, I decided to do my last concert at Carnegie Hall, and I did this big solo piano recital at Carnegie Hall. And that for me was like the farewell concert. And I invited everybody I knew, and I premiered my last album, which was Days of the Year. And Days of the Year was this collection of solo piano pieces. Each one is dedicated to a different day of the year where something happened for me. And so the music was composed on that day or assembled with the feeling of that day in mind. I've had some big realizations since I've been in Montreal. My life has become much more now about how I can serve other people and how I can make my life more useful in in a way that helps other people rather than just worrying about the return coming back to me. You know, the funny thing is you get a lot out of it when you balance the equation. Like, the Buddhist formula for happiness is to put other people first and to be constantly involved in helping other people, kind of like a Mother Teresa. I can't be Mother Teresa. There's some things I can do in this life. There's probably some things I'm not going to be able to do in this lifetime. But I can go just improve things just a little bit. And I can maybe take one step closer in that direction. The challenge for me now I face is how to do something meaningful with my life, how to help people, and how to use my talents. And I don't have an answer right now for that. I find that I'm not composing anything right now, and I haven't hardly played a piano since the Carnegie Hall concert. And so I don't know where I'm going with that. I feel like so many things in Montreal, I am gone so far down on the ladder of what we would term, I don't know, any kind of external social status, criteria. I feel like I'm in a society of immigrant, in a society where half the people don't speak the language I was raised with in America, which of course is English. And I feel like I have so much now to catch up on before I die.
What was the urgency you once had in order to compose music?
I was very unhappy. It's like this 19th century idea of the artist we have. Like the unhappy artist has to express himself in music. What happens when the unhappy artist becomes happy? Well, there's no raison d'etre anymore for the music. It's like, oh yeah, I guess I'm still a composer, but I don't really need to express like the same old thing because I'm not feeling that way anymore. I guess one of the things that I'm digesting and probably working on internally, although I don't think about it consciously, is how to write what happy music is going to sound like. I haven't given you my album yet. I meant to bring it today. It's really funny because I had some people react to it recently and they said, it's just so sad. This is like, they were looking at it on a rainy day, playing it in their office, and they just got completely depressed. It's effective. But now I have to go home and make dinner for my wife.
Do you eat quite early?
Oh yeah, well we go to bed early. I get up at 5 o'clock every morning, just to begin my meditation. Okay. Give me a call, I'll see you soon. And so we go to bed early, people, again, like when I was in New York, I'd go to bed 1, 2 o'clock, the normal thing. Now I go to bed at by 10:30 and, getting up at 5. And so, of course, French class is pretty exhausting too. But, yeah, we eat by 5. Yeah. Which is almost unheard of at another point in my life.